Hey everybody, welcome back. Now I'm finally getting back on this TRX, but it's not the same one as you guys know. Um, One of the bonuses I found in the back of the truck was the TRX hood sticker. That was like the first thing I did on my blue one. Um, it was like a it was like 150 bucks when I bought it. Maybe it was 170, but they're close to 300 bucks now. And so it was nice to see this sitting in the bed of the truck. This one has the large TRX stickers already on the back, so I never did that with the other one because I put the TRX emblems on the side of the truck, like from the tailgate. So since it already says TRX on the side, I'm not changing it, and I'm just gonna leave the Ram. So this uh, comes. This is a Mopar sticker, so it comes with a template. Basically, it's shaped like the curves of this hood, and you align this side up and the other side up. It'll pretty much get you centered. You could, you could go over it. You could go over it a little more to make sure you're centered, but it's going to get you real close, and then you can do maybe some measuring of some things up here to see, how far off you are. Um, it's about the right temperature to do it, so I'm going to do it today. Um, yeah, so that's it for that right now. I want to say that the one I did do this, but I don't know. I think I did slide it back a little more. We'll see. We'll see how it winds up, but we'll get up on this. So what I like to use is a mixture of some Dawn soap and with the water and a spray bottle, and I'm gonna spray the hood down pretty good, and that way I can move it around quite a bit without it sticking and then me being stuck with it like wherever it's at and getting pissed off. So then I can set it again like this and see if I like where it's at. And then I can start squeegeeing out at least the top to get it to stick down. And then I can start peeling it off the top. But I pretty much will just spray this whole, wherever this hood's gonna, the sticker's gonna lay on the hood, spray that whole thing down pretty good. And this way, if I don't like it, I can lift it and move it again. But you really want to get it as close as possible before, because the worst is if you get a crease in it, then you don't want to do that. So you kind of want it stretched out pretty good. So I'm gonna pull. I got put this on there just to check it out, but I'm gonna spray it down now and pull the backing off. I got this hood pretty well sprayed down. Uh, Now at this point, all I have to do is drop this, pull the backing, and drop this whole thing on top. So I got it on there. There's no backing. And what I should have done, which is what I'm doing right now, is spraying also the back of the decal too. It helps with moving it around. I already did the other side, but this will help big time. We can kind of slide it because I'm pretty close to where this is saying. Because with the bigger ones, you really don't want to be. This, being centered makes a bigger deal. Pretty much, as long as you're not pressing downward while you're putting these on, you have plenty of time to move them. It might get nerve-wracking because you want to get it done, and you think that like you're running out of time if you start sticking. But based on this template, this other paper is pretty much what's supposed to be. But you want to make sure that if there's any high spots, that you pull them to the sides, because or else you're going to get a bubble that's hard to get out. I have a feeling that as long, see, to me, just like the other decal they did on the other one, I thought that this was a little bit, maybe that's right. So you get, one of these off a little bit, it's going to be way more noticeable. So based on this curve here, I'm like just fitting there all the way down, the same as this side. So I think I'm good to start squeegeeing it out. And you're gonna wanna work like from the middle out, because, or else if you get a bubble in there, it's gonna be super hard to get it out of there. And you might need to use a heat gun too to help with that too. But you'll find that out after you pull the top off and you're running over it. So I started squeegeeing a little bit. It seems it's not too bad. Now, if you go from one end to another, it's okay. Like if you want to start from the bottom and go back, which because of these things up in the front is what I'm doing. I might have to do this a bunch of times. Get all that soap out of there in water. But if you run it back, you're better, more than likely to, or forward, but I mean, if you do halfway, you have a better chance of getting any of the bubbles out of it. Like, I can't tell with this cover on it, but it seems like it's pretty smooth. I don't, sometimes you can see it if you have them. Obviously you'll see more once you pull the paper off, but if you get enough of the water out in the soap, you'll be able to pull this off, because otherwise the decal will come off with the backing, and then you have to keep squeegeeing it until it sticks. I don't really feel any high spots here. This has a felt like piece on the squeegee, so once you take this backing off, you can go over the decal. You won't stretch it. On this particular decal, the worst part is the letters over there, because you don't want you want the letters to lay down when you pull the stick in. So if the letters still have water in it and the other part doesn't, you might have a hard time getting it off. And some parts that if it doesn't stick, for the most part it's down. I started to pull one corner of the cover paper off. I'm going to use a heat gun a little bit and just lightly go over it, just to make that part easier to come off. And then at the same time it also helps the vinyl stick too. So we'll get to that. Now I've been steadily pulling it back in the corners. If I have any bubbles, I'm running them out right away. And they're just flat down. And I'm rolling this as I pull it back. When I get this off, I know I'm gonna just, hit the squeegee more. I'll probably see stuff that I don't see right now. I'm coming up to another letter. I'm just gonna hit this a little more. And if you pull exactly, it's in essence 180 degrees from the way it's on there. Don't pull it away, because when you pull it up and away, it tends to lift. Since the back part is tight already, back here, when I'm pulling, it's going to pull the whole thing tight as I pull down. I just roll this up as I go. It'll be a lot easier to see if there's any bubbles, which right now is none. But if there is, you can get them out before you press too hard. Unless you like the sides coming up a little bit, there's probably still a little water in there. You just want to watch. When I get towards the front, it's going to be a little tricky. I might tear this in half so I don't lift either that, or I'm just going to do one side at a time because I'm going to start throwing it off. But you just take your time, work it to the end. You don't have to pay no one to do this. It's pretty straightforward. I know it might be scary if you want to pay $300 for the decal and you're like, you don't want to mess it up because then now you're like screwed. Because now you have to buy another one and also get the thing off. Now I got the whole thing on. It looks good from the back. Here's the front. So I'm just going to have to push those down with this. And once you get all the water out, it will stick. If I have to, I'll use the heat gun, but it'll start sticking. There's bubbles here. Oops, get this out. If they're tight, you'll hear them crackling as they come down, and you'll see it come out. Now, I got it completely on. Pretty much nothing, no bubbles anywhere. I'm just going to go over it with some heat to help stick it, and then I'm going to probably, when it sits out in the sun, if there's any bubbles left, they'll come out then, kind of like on their own. I also have some red inlays that I don't have yet. We're going to go inside the TRX letters on the hood. I think this will be about it for this. The mix of soapy water I have is a little heavy on the soap. Gives you a little more leeway. But once this sits in the sun for a day or two, you ain't gonna worry about nothing as far as that lift, anything like that. I'm not worried about it as it is, especially if you go over the heat gun, nothing to do. It says the worst part of this is the first 10 minutes of getting it set up. This is pretty. This is my other one was just a touch off. I thought center. This one's dead on. Got tiny little bubbles there to work it out. See, there's still just a touch of water. Soapy water in there, but eventually we'll just go away. But what you want is at this front part to lay, make sure it's not lifting up, because then it'll cause an issue. They all lay down pretty good. And there it is. I know on this color it's not as noticeable, but I like the satin look on the hood, the satin black. But I would say if you're looking at it here, looks pretty centered to me. So that's it for this. Next video, I don't know if we're gonna do the incognito or I'm gonna be doing these. I'm gonna do the mirror. They're coming today. I'm gonna switch the mirror caps to body color. And I don't know, maybe I'll incognito done today. We'll see. All right, until next time. Thanks.